It is Thursday lunch, February 3rd. And I point that out because it's raining outside. The pending winter storm is coming, and it's cloudy. It's a dreary day. And if you go back a couple, I say a couple videos, I'm combining videos. So maybe it was last video, the video before. It was sunny, and this, as I looked at the videos, this is brighter. And in here, because of up here above my head to the left, is a light that is it's a warm incandescent bulb. And I went to put some more bulbs in because I have some natural light, whiter, bluer bulbs, if you will. But this funky ceiling fan takes tiny bulbs. It's really odd. So I'm making excuses that this is not as dark. I still want to go lighter, but it is not as dark as it's looking on my phone. Also, I've tried to straighten it up. I did notice on the video, it probably drove you all nuts. This looked crooked, but it wasn't. I haven't touched this line, this horizon line. It was just skewed because of the way the camera was tilted, I guess. So that may have, you all were probably watching going, John, that's crooked. I don't know. I believe it's pretty straight. But one thing you may notice, I went ahead and sketched, you could probably barely see it if you can at all. I sketched them in because, if you recall, I'm like, I normally don't paint the background and then put the figures in. But what I noticed, and I've tried to wipe it out before it dried, but as I've caked, I hope that refocuses. This, if it's not focusing, I apologize. This white I really put on there thick, and it makes little ridges, right? It's little bumps and things, and I don't want that as I'm painting them. So I'm at a point that I feel like I need to go ahead and block them in, even though I have some more work to do up here, because I was getting carried away, and I don't want that to be built up paint, if that makes sense. Rough sketch, I don't know, hopefully you can see some of the sketch. Doesn't show up as well, of course, on top of paint as it does the white canvas. But I think it's close. I've got her a little taller, a little higher. If you notice her head and the way her arms are, I think it's going to be fine. I don't think it's going to deter. The main thing I want to make sure of is that she stands out really nice like she does here. So we'll see. If I have to change it and repaint it and move this wave, I will. But right now, I believe it'll look okay. Only one way to find out. I've gotten a little carried away with a little of the sketchiness here. We'll have to paint over some of that. Again, not a big deal. Let me see if I can, with some water, negatively paint some of that out. Yeah. Let's do something, even if it's wrong. Let's do something. So I'm going to start on Matthew. Now, not that it's technically pleasing or makes painting sense, but it appears to me that his shorts and shirt are the exact same color. And we got a decision to make. Are we going to leave it that way? Are we going to leave it that way? And yep, they're pretty much the same color. We'll make it a stab at that color. Now I'm really trying to get the as best as I can, get the shape right on the first try, because the main things to look at here, this shoulder, it's so important to get this gesture. It's easy to look here and go, oh, it's a person, it's a little boy, and let me look over here and spend all my time right here and not look back over here. Every time I put down paint, I'm looking at angles. His posture, the way he's running this way, this shoulder comes out a little more horizontal than this one. See how his shirt is stretched, this one's back. All of those things matter. So every little bit, and this is not a small brush, probably should have a little bit smaller, a little bit smaller one, as you see. You see why. Way to go, John. Way to go, John. Let me block this in, the main parts of it, and then I'll come back. So again, the drawing's not great. Main thing is, as this comes down, it's outside of his head. So I'll make sure that it's all those little things while you're doing this that make it more accurate. And it does not have to be perfect, but it's got to be pretty close. It's got to be close. Hold your breath. Hold your breath. And this is I'll have to go over this a few times. You probably see this is pretty transparent, which is I. So let's go ahead. I think I can tell where his shorts are. Leave a little bit of cliff notes for myself there on where I did, when you do the sketch, when you spend the time trying to get the drawing right, I don't want to have to do it again, because it's right in my mind right now, I guess is what I'm saying. So I really want to try to rely on the line sketch that I did, but ultimately, as I paint, I'm drawing and painting at the same time. So I hope you can see how that is. Now we're going to be dummies, or I'm going to be a dummy. You're not a dummy. And we are going to put in, with the same brush, a little bit of paint. Put in with the same brush that color, or the highlighted area, a little bluer. Let's see how this reads. I'll drive you all crazy with the reads comment. I don't know how else to explain it, to be honest with you. Hopefully that makes sense to you all. How does it read? There. As I step back, it's I. It's okay. Now I'm going to get this in with a different brush. I really need to not go. The problem I've got, I'll just be honest with you guys, what is this brush? This is a number 2. That's a daggone small brush. I need to, do they even make number 1s? That's kind of what I need. Ooh, what's this one? This is then it's weird. So that is a number 2. Different manufacturer. This is a U-Track. That's a number 4. This, let me make sure. This is a number 2, and this is a number 4. Which, ooh, look, I didn't clean that out very good. But this is more the size I'm needing. Now this is a filbert. This is more of a flat. Doesn't matter. I don't care. I need, this is it. This is it. All right, so I'm going to remix. New pile. Just trying, it's all I'm using is ultramarine blue and burnt sienna. A little bit more blue than sienna. And my hand is not shaped right. My hand isn't. There's a angle here. Now what I should do if I had any sense at all, which I don't, obviously I can't turn this. If I turn this sideways, it's going to redo the picture. I need to just take this photo and turn it upside down, right? Save a copy that's upside down. So I can see this angle right, but I'm not going to. Hard-headed. Hard-headed. We're just going to see if this is okay. See if that's all right for now. Yeah. Yeah. I need an even smaller brush. Lordy. Tough stuff. This one's a little puffy. It's a little puffy. A little puffy. I don't like to get little tiny eensy weensy brushes. Let's make sure he's doing okay from that angle. And we're going to have to do some negative drawing. I got this a little wide here. All right, when that dries, and I'll just go ahead and give you a thought of how it's going to, it's not out too bad. It's not out too bad. All right, so we're going to do a lot of that. A lot of that kind of stuff, right? Paint. You put the paint down and then you fix it. That's pretty much how I have to do things. May have to work on that a little bit more. Let's get in here. We need this nice, sharp. It comes back. That. Actually, I think I'll take this side up a little when it dries. When it dries. There's a little, see that shape? That's so important. That shape where his leg is like dragging the pant leg back. No one will see that but me, but I'll see it. So we'll put more paint on there. I'll fix that stuff. Let's go ahead and make a judgment call on his skin compared to hers. They're both obviously warm. I better make sure. Yours may be a little more yellow. So let's take red and white. Most artists that paint people would take alizarin crimson, which is smart, and white. I'm just not very smart. So let's see. Because it's, I want to get, there's some warm spots on him. And then there's some that are a little darker and browner and whatever. But I want to make sure that I get the medium. Value is more important, right? The value is more important. Do I have his hat too far up? Maybe. That could be all right. That'll draw darker. So his angle, I have it drawn a little not correct. It's down like that. It's exhausting. I mean, I don't mean to make it sound like it's not fun, because it is. It's fun. But the drawing part, here, there, the drawing part can be pretty exhausting. Now, the only way I'll know whether I have that a little too tall. Yeah, it's hard to tell. It's close. It is close. I'm not that far off. Angle, is that angle right? Do I have the angle right? It's close. It's close. Probably about that long, right? Not much further. I can always go longer. This arm, so this shirt, now see when I come in here, now that shirt doesn't come down enough. That was my problem. That was my problem. So notice I'm painting his arm outside or inside of the edge of his shirt because I have his shirt drawn wrong. Sometimes you just don't know how this stuff it should be drawn until you get it, other stuff in. Let's see this. That's a decent starting paint, underpainting, if you will. Is there a little break? Is there a little break in between his legs? Yeah, I think so. I think there is. So his calf's there. This comes down. This one comes like that. Comes like that. I hope y'all are seeing that this is not rocket science. I mean, it just takes practice. It can be fun if you let it be fun. So I'm going to say that's about where his foot is. Looks all right. Not bad, Johnny. Not bad. That may be a little dark. A little dark. Not too bad. See, here I go again. Same brush, clean it out, use it again, clean it out instead of using different. So right here, this is to me a big deal. To most people, never even notice it. I'll do more on that because it's not taken too well. Sometimes you just gotta let dry. And we'll put a highlight on that arm and little other places, a little white spot right there. Yeah, I think it could happen. It could happen. We're gonna go, gosh, that's pretty red, isn't it? That is pretty red. There's gonna be places in that hat that it's pure red. There definitely will be. Now maybe even, gosh, now that I put that up there, maybe the shadow is going to be pretty close to pure red. Hats, this is important. The hat's a little big on him, which is cool, right? That's what we want. A little bit big on him, which makes him look like a little boy. There's an angle here that I was struggling to get the way my hand was. That's pretty decent. That's what we're after, decent. Not really, we're after perfection. Let's see, that hat comes out a little, then comes down. Out a little, then comes down. That's about the right angle. Now we're going to add, I'm going to just see, because you know how y'all have heard me maybe have heard me about my troubles with red and lightning red. Lightning, yes, making red lighter. So what I've done, we can only see what it looks like when I put it up there. I'm not using white, I'm using yellow. Not using white, I'm using yellow, which will make it lighter, obviously make it more orange, but that's probably going to be better. I gotta go white, don't I? I gotta put a little white. Let me keep going yellow. I don't want to add the white. It makes it pink. Yeah, I know. Duh, John. Duh. We know that light red is pink. But I don't know why. My brain doesn't work that way. I see that there's a color that I would say is actually light red. That is not pink. Well, I sure didn't nail that, but that's good enough for now. Is that warm? Is that red? Gosh, it doesn't make sense, but I think it is. A little red spot there, a little warmer. It's not red, but it's something like that. No one would ever see. I can barely see it, and then it turns white. I don't know what that is, but we're going to put it down there, even if it's wrong. So I got a little drawing stuff to do on him. I definitely do. I don't have it right. I think I need to get him a little, maybe a little thicker, which, you know, that's important when you're doing what I'm doing, which is, well, anytime I guess you're drawing people or anything for that matter, it's easier to go wider, right? Tougher to go narrower. So I think I got him a little thin, a little lean. Peyton, I'm gonna put a little bit more what I'm gonna call browns, tans, and you know, make a little subtlety differences in here. She's a little warmer. Do y'all see that? I don't know if you see it. And when I say warmer, maybe not the technical way, it looks to me, she's got a little more burnt sienna in her, a little more burnt sienna. Let's see what this looks like. This may be too light. I don't know. Yeah. Live with that. Yeah, so her neck is here. Her hair. Let's make sure we get this right. It's a good thing I switched to this little tiny brush, and I hate. I don't like to paint with little tiny brushes. Just only when I have to, because you get too detailed. But something like this, it's important. I got to get her shape right and his shape right. So that shoulder, I've got it drawn wrong, which seems to be my norm anymore. Let's see, the shoulder comes down. I'm going to just kind of leave a little area where I marked her swimsuit. Give me a little thought on where that would be. That kind of comes like that. So again, when I say sketch, most people go, well, that's draw, right? Drawing is a sketch. Sketch is a drawing. To me, and this may not be purely accurate, and this is going to dry a little dark, which is fine. I'll just keep making more interesting areas in this. Highlight on top of where I'm painting right now. What was I saying? It was really important. Oh, yeah. Sketch drawing. To me, a drawing is something that I spend about as much time on as I would if it was a painting. And I've done commissions for people that were drawings, you know, just pencils. And, you know, when I put enough effort into that it's its own finished, you know, what I would call a piece of artwork, a lot of the same detail I do with the brush, just different, I would call that a drawing. I'm really trying to be super accurate. A line sketch, an arm, I got it big. A line sketch is me just trying to find the, I'll say the outside shapes of something, just to identify it. It's quick. It's for this purpose. It had, you know, of course, we're going to lose the drawing. I'm not doing it for its own piece of art. I'm doing it to try to assist me, so I'm not drawing with paint, which is what I used to do. There are paintings I've done of people, commissions, you know, that I did not sketch it out. I try to get the length of this arm. I just basically started, just put paint down and found my drawing with the paint, and that has worked before, but that is a very dangerous way to go about it to me. If you don't get it right and you spend 3 hours. If I spend half an hour getting him painted in and I realize, oh my gosh, he should be over here, and that matters, I'm in trouble, right? I got to paint him out, and I'd much rather spend that time. Man, I've got that wide. We'll fix it. Don't know how that happened. I'm humble. I don't think I'm helping you guys. I'm just helping myself. I need to talk. I never did this. I mean, I've never done this, obviously, if I'm not recording. So it must be your all's fault. So this is important. This is important. Her foot, if I've got this drawn right, her foot comes to there. If y'all see that or not. So I'm going to say, I'm going to try to like negatively draw her. And this is a highlight. This is going to be different paint I'm putting out here, but I just got to find her foot. So that's where, and of course this gets lost down with water splashing, but her foot's there. I had that drawn. Her foot really is a little even higher than that, if that matters, if that really matters. Not sure it does. Let me see if I can get this about right. You know, you can imagine how this is so intricate. It's nearly impossible. I say that sounded bad. It's tough to get this, you know, perfect. So I need to get it. I need to do a decent job. Best job I can at this moment. You know, if I did this painting a different time, maybe I'd do it better. But this isn't a different time. It's now. So for me to paint this, let me look here. For me to paint, take her neck. I'm just pointing out little things here. This shape. There's a shape. Now, I don't want to get too thick. That it curves back a little. Curves back a little. Little things like that are important. Let's see here. So right now, I'm going to, because I can see it, go ahead and I'm going to do this right now while I'm able to see it. Let's see. And this may not be the right value. Sometimes I just don't know. I don't know until I get it up there, because when I'm mixing it in my palette, you notice my palette is underneath this, it's a gray. It's a medium tone, which helps me better judge. But you see this color here. It's a little, just a smidge darker, not much, than this. So it's not dark, right? It's not black. But I really don't know how it's going to go up here till I do it, because I want it, I'm doing this, and I want it a little bit darker, a little less warm than that. And I may be pushing it meaning I'm not doing it accurately at the moment. Well, that's pretty transparent. I think I had it close. But I didn't, I guess I didn't have enough paint. So we're going to remix them again and probably get it wrong. But you don't know till you put him up there. Under there to try to define that foot. That's about, and then there's a, I want to get this other piece drawn. There's her calf shadow right there. Got this on here, so I might as well use it if I see where it goes. Where is there some brownish color? Doesn't that be perfect? Brownish. And maybe just right on the inside of this calf. Right down this inside of this arm, if I have the arm right. If I have the arm right. Little hand down, little fist down, finger down, and the inside of that arm. And we're going to soften that. It's not going to be perfect. So I've wiped most of the paint out, because I want this, where I'm putting this, to be soft. Soft. There's an ear there. Ear's there. The back of that ear there. Again, this is about, as I keep saying, putting it down, letting it dry, fix it. Putting it down, letting it dry, fix it. You know, I know some of these values are wrong. I know some of the stuff I'm gonna have to repaint a little bit, and I just don't know. So let's put her outfit in, and we're gonna have to put her foot in there too, of course. Remember, I got one blue. I'm gonna keep this little brush. Let's see. Now this is where other artists would take, and I'm not saying it's absolutely critical that we get this, that we nail this color. But, you know, you want it to be, if you're able to mix it, why not? The main thing is I want it to be vibrant. I want this to be nice, vibrant. I'm almost tempted to get my phthalo blue, which I don't ever really do. Nothing wrong with it if I have to do that. But, and I may go ahead and just do the paints in my thing and then paint over it later if I don't like it. But phthalo blue is a very brilliant blue, more than ultramarine blue. And I've never, ever mixed with it. To be honest, I think I bought it by accident, thinking it was ultramarine. Most artists, or let me say many artists that paint landscapes, that paint outside, they use three blues. They use cerulean, which is more like that, like a cyan. They use ultramarine, and then they use phthalo. And they'll use phthalo more, you know, in the skies than they would ultramarine. To me, ultramarine's kind of in the middle, and it works. So that's pretty flat, right? That's not very vibrant. But as an underpainting, you know, for some of the shadow areas, maybe that's okay. And then I'll try to make some more brilliant blue over the top of that. So let's try to mix. Let me take. I'm going to take my my brilliant yellow, which is translucent. God, that would look pretty just like that. That would look nice just like that. I do want it to be nice. Let's take that and mix it with that blue. Mix it with some blue, a little blue. Let's see where that gets us. It's going to be greener than that, but I might be okay with that. It's pretty, but when you talk about translucent, that show did it, didn't it? And we're going to probably make this wave bigger, band-aid my ear in drawing. So the way these straps run are important too. This one, it's going to be almost impossible to draw it because it's so faint, but this kind of comes down and then comes back. And I'll probably have to do it a couple times because I don't have the highlight in there. Looks like she's got a diaper on right now, doesn't it? Yeah. I think I've got her a little wide, or I don't have the rest of her wide enough. It's one of the two. Let's see. Let me get the purple, because I can't have her in diapers. Not anybody see her. Let's mix a purple. So we're going to take our blue, and we're going to take red. And that's a pretty dark purple. And as you all may remember, I do have purple over here in a tube. But this, again, this is just the mid-tone of that purple. So this comes at an angle, right? It's a little higher on her right side. It comes down because of the way she's running. This comes this way. Now paint just what you see. Don't get over here and go, oh, well, she's got a butt, and let me draw a butt on it. That's not, we got to paint what we're looking at over here, right? And if we paint those shapes exactly like we see them, it should look right. It should look right. Now, a lot of this is going to, as you all may have seen from the other paintings, a lot of the stuff doesn't really pop, make sense until we get the highlights, right? Until we, and I don't do that till the end where I know the shape's right. I'm making sure this comes down further than that. And that needs to come up a little bit, but that's okay. Getting the canvas paint. Got a little drawing errors on her. I think I need to take that purple up a little bit, and it'll be lighter later. Lighter later. Because it kind of looks like that is the bottom of her foot, but it's not. That's going to be hard to get that to read right. So to read as a foot, to be honest with you. It looks pretty bright yellowish, kind of. Sun's hitting it. Just put this in like that and see what happens. Golden almost there, right? I mean, golden. So that arm, I definitely have some issues. Looks like it's broke. Don't want to have a broken arm. Now right here it's sharp, very sharp, right? And some of the issues that we have at the moment as we look at this will be solved with edges, not just putting down a different kind of paint. It'll be that we have our edges wrong. Or what I mean is, see how I laid that down, and on both sides of that stroke, on both sides of that stroke, it's hard edge, right? And what we'll need to do is we'll need to soften that, soften. So I choose not, sometimes you see me, I go in there with my finger, not that that sometimes doesn't work, but it's safer to later on let that dry and mix a color in between these two. Soft. See, I tried to do that here a little bit. That's important. Well, I got this color. Is it right? I don't know. The value's better than what's up there. So I'm just put hints of, and this is as much for me to just get back and make sure this is reading right. Is it reading right? Not digging the outfit. I got it a little drawn wrong, painted wrong. Arm, a little harder edge there. I think I either have this part not big enough or her waist is still wide, I think is probably. And that's, again, drawing. What's wrong? Something's wrong. Before I worry about the highlights and making this form look right, is the drawing right? Well, no, because there's a little spot right here on this width that's wider than this is, right? See, it already looks better. So we've been going now for 42 minutes, which is about what I got in me and about what I got for lunch. So we're going to end this and come back later.